must try to escape. Ugh! With a severe headache, you wake up in an unfamiliar place. So I guess I have blunt force trauma. Or some shit. As you touch the bruise on the back of your head, it seems you were hit by something heavy before you lost consciousness. Okay, so I do have that shit. Look at that spaghetti. That looks so delicious. I'd eat that too, the chain. A heavy iron chain tied around your feet. Someone has trapped you here. It was Joe Goldberg. You try to remember what happened before you lost consciousness, but you can't recall anything. I have amnesia. Let's investigate the surroundings first. There is not much at my disposal. It looks very blank, but the room is surrounded by 4 walls without any windows. It's weirdly cleaned up, and no ashes or sand can be seen. Why would there be sand? Why? Did we expect sand? I never expect sand in my life. I hate sand. Considering it's weirdly cleaned, I'm gonna guess he's a neat freak. Yeah, looks like a prison built by a germaphobe. Okay. Where to investigate next? My phone. I have no signal. I might be in a remote place or underground. Yes, I'd say so. Maybe both if we're ultra unlucky. There's a mattress on the floor. Astute observation. It feels really hard to lie on. It's made of rocks. Near the door, there's a serving of spaghetti with tomato sauce and a bottle of water. That shit better not be Dasani. I think that would be the way to kill me. Really. Also, a round plastic fork that's completely harmless was thoughtfully attached. Wow, it's a spork. It's still warm. It feels like it was sent here not long ago. Let's look at this door. Peek through the keyhole. Someone stabs you, but you see nothing outside. I wonder where I am. Okay. I guess I can't really do anything else, can I? What's the next move? I think I'll just dance around. Yell for help? That is so stupid. Knocking over the meal is also bad, because we've established that he probably likes things really clean. I think we should just listen. You can't hear any sound other than your own breathing. The soundproofing in this room seems particularly good. I guess I'll die. You lay on the bed. You try to sleep under this condition. Maybe it's the fatigue caused by nervousness, but you still fall asleep. My chamber has been opened. You open your eyes after hearing some noises. Hello. Look at his little button! That's adorable. How can you be scared of him? Where'd he get that? Goodwill? A tall man wearing a mask is squatting on the ground and looking at you with his head tilted. Looks pretty upright to me, but I don't know. He remains silent, as if he is sizing up his prey. What am I gonna do, though? Like, throw the spaghetti at him? He points to the plate on the floor, indicating that you should finish your meal quickly. Okay. I don't know why I didn't eat it. I don't even care if it's poison. That probably would have been a better way to go than he has planned for me. Thinking that the strange man might have poisoned this shit, you shake your head in fear. Seeing you have no intention of eating, he looks quite distressed.
You can't die.
Why?
Not now.
Not now. Why not now? He slowly speaks with a deep and steady voice.
The freezer is full.
Ah, I see your problem, sir. Does he eat people? I don't know much about this creepypasta. What does that mean? Great
The
question.
freezer is full, and there's no space for more.
Yeah, I mean, I got that. He just, like, rephrased what he said.
7 days.
The manga?
There won't be space
I
until
didn't
7 days later.
I didn't even read that fucking message before. I guess I am
If
alive.
you die now, you'll rot.
I'm alive for 7 days, and then I die! Let's go. What do you mean? So I only have 7 days left to live? Yes. He nods and walks out of the door. He's very brief and to the point. I think that's great. Wait! You can't just leave me here like this, please! Your cries can't stop the door from closing. Let's investigate the surroundings first. Why did I not eat the spaghetti? This is literally all carbs. A bread and a bottle of water. Let's look at the mattress. No, I don't want to sleep. Let's look through the door, I guess. You peek outside the keyhole. You see the shadow of the man walking around. He seems to be busy with something. What is he doing? Oh, you know, just exploring. They don't give me much to do they? I just gotta sit here and die. Please try to improve your survival rate within 7 days. Well, I hope I get more options. Let's investigate and look around at these same walls every time. My plate is empty. Let's go. We're starving. You check the keyhole. You seem to see something. You see that there is a vague figure at the end of the door. It has a beard. Yell for help? No. I'm going to just look at it. You sense something wrong and realize what that is after narrowing your eyes. Hey, that's pretty cool, actually. Like, that shit reminds me of Hannibal, right? Because didn't he make something? Like, he made a corpse with a tree or something. That is an artwork made of the human body, not a human being. I mean, technically it's both, right? Ah! You hear the door open. You slowly push the door, and there is no trace of the strange man. He disappeared that quickly. He's fast. First, you go into a room with a large freezer, sink, and operating table. We should grab the scalpel. Okay, I guess we're gonna fuck off instead. Then you open another heavy door. You find yourself in a room full of glass display jars. Those are all nice teeth. They're very white. That's awesome. The jars are all filled with specimens made from human body parts. It's like you're in an art museum. Could it be that he wanted to freeze me as material for specimen artwork? Probably. You're thinking. You seeing the scene. Just scream. I think they're pretty cool looking. This picture is weird. How did this happen? You just took out the entire spine? How did you get the body to stay intact? You just put a wire in it? I'm intrigued now. I guess I'll admire them, since that's kind of what I'm already doing. You look around and admire his work with relish. You look at them for 15 minutes straight. Damn.
Interesting.
Yep. You hear a voice coming from the corner. Does he always wear the pin? Turns out the man has been watching you from a blind spot behind the glass cabinet. I like them. They're so beautiful. Especially this one, with the giraffe person. The man goes silent, with his head tilted for a couple of seconds after hearing your comment. He seems to be thinking about something. What is in the jars? Are those the eyes I saw earlier? Yeah, they probably are. They look like the fingers. The eyes. Okay. This is pretty cool. I like it. I can't even begin to understand what the fuck this is, but, that's fine.
Don't you consider it cruel or bloodthirsty to them?
I think it's opposite of bloodthirsty, because I think of slasher type shit when I think of bloodthirsty. You know? Like, there's a methodical process to this. It might be cruel, but I don't really care right now. No, I feel nothing at all. Pretty much. He's silent. I've shocked him.
You're such a weirdo.
Thanks. You think, aren't you talking about yourself? After you have a tour in his display room, he locks you back in the small room you were in. You go to sleep to end the day. Your survival rate increases. Let's go. We're slowly getting there. Until noon, you don't see breakfast or lunch being delivered. You're already starving. You are waiting for him to bring dinner, but what you get is not dinner. What I get is death. The freezer has opened. Instead, you hear the door was opened. A light shines through the crack of the half-open door, looking like an intriguing invitation. This is how he gets me. He's hiding around the corner with that damn hammer I didn't grab, and he's going to bash it into my head, giving me another headache and killing me. I'm not paranoid at all. You open the door and walk into that light. You first arrive at the room with an operating table outside of the door. But this time, the operating table is not empty. There's a defrosted human corpse on it. The freezer did open up. There's space now. He can put me in it. This is not good for my survival, I must think. The man pops out of somewhere. He unties the iron chains from your feet and hands the surgical knife in his hand to you.
First, where do you think the first cut should be?
Well, are we dissecting? 'Cause you should probably go for the abdomen if you're gonna do that. I don't know. What are you trying to make, little fella? His voice tone sounds cold, like the kind of teacher who gives students hard questions on purpose. Attack him? He's probably expecting that. Can't do it, I'm not a pussy. Let's just stab the shit. I wish that it gave me options of where to stab them. Maybe it will, I don't know. Maybe beautiful works always come with some sacrifices. Without hesitation, you stab the abdomen of the corpse with the knife. Hey, that's where I said you should stab it. But due to lack of professionalism, the lines you cut are crooked and ugly. This beautiful music. And this is when he gets close behind your back and holds your hand. It's so romantic. You're both holding the surgical knife, like you two are cutting a cake together. Our wedding cake. It's tomorrow. With his hand, the lines you cut become smooth and clean. Why is she melting? I'm already dead. That's the plot twist. I'm just a possessed doll version. Why do I have no eyes, bro? Where are they? You can smell an ocean perfume on him due to how close you are. Seems to be sprayed to cover up the smell of formalin. You can feel his warmth with your back, but his fingers are a little cold. Mine are cold too. He's focusing on cutting the corpse, and your hand keeps moving under his lead. He could have killed you or ignored you, but he didn't. You start to speculate on the purpose of his behaviors. Could it be that he wants someone who can ignore the cruelty and process and understand him? Oh yes, we shall use this to our advantage. After the happy creative time ends, You're locked in the room you were in. Did I get a croissant? Did I eat? I don't think I ate today. That's terrible. You go to sleep to end the day. Alright. Did my survival rate increase? I guess not. Until noon, you don't see breakfast or lunch being delivered. You're already starving. Again, because I didn't eat yesterday. You notice that something is shining at the corner. A key? Seems like the man accidentally dropped it last night. Or maybe it was purposefully placed to trick me into a false sense of security. Maybe he's waiting outside to stab me with that scalpel because he has room in the freezer now. Now that I have mutilated a corpse, I have ruined it. He doesn't need that in the freezer anymore. It's all lining up. Oh god. You open the door with the key. You go past the operating table where you two spent creative time together last night. The display room. Check behind that glass cabinet, bitch. He's there, I know it. Then you discover that there are unnatural, uneven marks from one wall to the corner. You find a trapdoor. After pushing the trapdoor, you see a normal basement storage room. At the corner of the storage room, you see a stair that goes up. It turns out that this is really an underground secret room. Oh hey, it was both. Actually no, we don't know it's a remote location yet. Just that it was underground. I'm getting ahead of myself. Hidden layer by layer with trapdoor. No wonder the sound insulation is so good. You walk up the stairs and see a heavy wooden board. I punch through it with my Hulk powers. What catches your eye is the interior of a cozy cabin. Oh shit, that actually might be a remote location. 'Cause I don't see cabin houses very often in cities. He has a picture of that thing we saw. That's interesting. What is this? Who is he with? It looks like a doctor. Maybe he was like a surgeon or something. Dead plants, too. I don't know what this is. Then you realize the heavy wooden board you just pushed is the back of a bookcase. You look around and find that there are insect specimens everywhere in the cabin. There's also a reindeer head specimen hanging on the wall. Then you walk into the living room. He's dying. He ate my poisoned food. You see a young man with a handsome face and pale skin lying on the sofa. The ocean-scented perfume and the faint smell of formalin emanates from his body. It's him! He is the masked man who kidnapped you, but he is not wearing a mask at this time. His sleeping face has a ferocious expression. His neck is sweating, and he seems to be trembling. Looks like he's sick. At this time you decide to... I will return the favor. He has not murdered me, and he's given me food. You know? That's the way to a person's heart, I think. Let's just stay. Let's do what makes life more interesting. You can't bear to leave him alone, so you reach out and touch his forehead. Whoa, so hot. You try to find something that can cool him down. Let's investigate. Living room. The living room is spotlessly clean. He is a neat freak. I think I would have actually fucking died if I threw my food away. Let's look at him. His expression is ferocious. This was already said. He seems to be in pain. He's still having a fever. Nothing has changed. Okay, I wasted my time. Sofa. You don't think it's good for a patient to sleep on the sofa? Why? But you can't move him with your strength. Aren't I starving still? I should probably eat something. But I guess not. Yeah, let's look at his bugs. Looks like he did them all. I'm afraid of butterflies, so this part would scare me. It does. I'll be honest. The workmanship of these specimens is exquisite. Okay. Does the main character also make fucking insect specimens? How did they know this? Yes, let me look at this. There's a photo frame on the shelf. Who is it? It's a photo of him standing at the entrance of the Judicial Mental Hospital with the man in a doctor's robe. Damn it, I want to know who that is specifically. If they're friends? If he's even alive anymore? Shelf. Cocoa powder? Okay. There's a jar of cocoa powder and a cup on it. Let's make him a cup of cocoa. Is that wise to do that for a fever? Can you make regular cocoa that's not hot? I've never done it. There was another thing on this shelf. Locked box. There's a box with a combination lock on the shelf. Okay, I don't know the combination. Is there anything here that gives me a clue? Let's look on the bookcase. Find some of his profile files in the bookcase. Name Helen Otis. Gender male. Birthday October 1st, 1980. Since this is in yellow, I think that might be the code. They might have just absolutely gave it away. Also, it's interesting he has like a feminine first name. Let's try that box. Let's just see what's in there. 1980. Okay, I'll die. October 1st, 10:01. Let's go. There's a note in the box that says whatever that shit means. I wonder what it means. Yep, I do. Kitchen. Okay, this is also spotlessly clean. There are some ice cubes in the fridge. These can cool down his body temperature. Let's not even like cover the ice cubes. Let's just place them on his body so he wakes up in a puddle of cold water. And we fuck up his couch and then he'll kill us. I think that's a good idea. You find some clean towels in the kitchen cabinet. I can soak a towel in ice water and place it on the patient's forehead to cool him down. Why are we talking like we're a doctor? I think I got everything. I mean, I clicked every option, so. You return to the living room, wring out the excess water from a towel soaked in ice water, and place it on his forehead. His ferocious expression gradually softened. You once again notice his fair skin and long eyelashes, and his slightly curly black hair. If you don't say he is a murderer, his sleeping face looks very harmless now. After a while, please don't murder me. He looks like I have done something wrong. He wakes up to the scent of your brewing cocoa and sits up on the couch. He looks a little shocked. Yeah, I would say he looks something else too, but I can't interpret it. The fuck was that for? He looks around quickly and seems to understand what is going on.
Why are you doing this?
Shit, I don't know. You made good fucking spaghetti that I didn't actually eat. Speaking of, what was that meat in the spaghetti? Does he actually eat people? Was there someone in my spaghetti?
You saw me faint and didn't choose to run away.
Of course not. I have startled him into silence again.
You're such a weirdo.
Okay. Is there anyone weirder than you in this house? You can't help but bitch about it. You seem to see the corners of his mouth rising slightly for a few seconds, and the atmosphere between you relaxes. He doesn't drink the cocoa you brewed for him. It seems that he is still a little wary of you. Alright, we can't rizz our way out of this situation yet. Good to know. Can you tell me who you are?
Bloody Painter. That's the name they gave me for my modus operandi.
Okay, can I call you Mr. Otis, though? Because I do know your name. Unless you changed it,
If you
then
find
well.
it difficult to pronounce, you can call me BP.
Okay, I guess I'll just say BP then. Even though what he told you was just a nickname, at least you know how to call him now. After the brief conversation on the sofa, he does not lock you back in the underground secret room. Perhaps staying to take care of him when he fell ill was enough to prove that you won't run away. Yes, we're playing the long game. You get up from the sofa and continue to look at the specimen decorations in the living room. He sits on the sofa, crosses his legs, picks up a book and starts reading.
By the way, you better not try to escape. There are traps all around the cabin, and only I know how to get in and out safely.
I suppose there is a good reason why I did not fucking choose to run away. Now we know. You sit on the sofa. Soon a wave of sleepiness comes over you. Today you fall asleep on the sofa in the living room, not in the cold underground secret room. My survival rate increased. Yes. I have 2 days left. Holy shit. You see him busy cleaning in and out of the house early in the morning. I'll come help too. What is in that bucket, bro? A tooth? Tonsils? Like, what am I looking at? After finishing speaking, you pick up the rag and bucket and join the cleaning. But you can't really see where this almost spotless house needs to be cleaned. You're just taking a clean wet rag and wiping it on the clean cabinet. Do you usually love cleaning this much?
It would soon be covered with a layer of dust.
That subtitle took 7 business days to finish. Although he doesn't talk much, his tone and voice give you a gentle feeling and don't make you feel nervous. The Minecraft ladder noise, let's go. You climb up the short ladder and wipe the high cabinets with a rag. Suddenly, a cockroach crows out from the crack in the cabinet. You are so frightened that you lose your balance and fall backwards. I would do the same shit. You close your eyes, preparing to accept your fate, but what you get is not the pain of falling to the ground, to your death, but a warm feeling. He looks so unamused, bro. You open your eyes and find that he's holding you like you're a princess. Okay, put me down. He catches you with the same old cold expression on his face.
Are you alright?
I would be better if you did not touch me. I'm alright. It was just a cockroach. Hearing the word cockroach, he puts you down. Thank you. This is useful information. If he ever tries to murder me, now I can just scream that there's a cockroach somewhere. And he'll be so frightened himself. Maybe I will have seconds to escape my demise. He takes 2 steps back from the cabinet you just wiped, and then says calmly,
Don't come near here yet.
Okay. Why? This bitch likes to press too much.
It's dangerous.
You got it, man. You can't help but chuckle at the thought of a murderer being afraid of cockroaches. Why not? I mean, he's human too, right? Fine. Whatever you say. The interaction just now makes you feel a little warmth from this cold murderer. At least you see more of his reactions and expressions. This is the rare relaxation you have felt in these tense days. He could have let you fall off the ladder, but he rushed over to catch you. Somehow, you feel that after these few days of getting along, maybe now you both have different ideas about each other than you originally had. It was only a clear relationship between a murderer who wanted to hunt a prey who was trying to escape. But now, it has an extra layer of friendship, causing the interaction between you to have an indescribable sense of dissonance. Just when you pick up the old newspaper and prepare to wipe the windows, you find a police car parked on the road in the distance. Oh my god, let's kill him. 2 police officers get out of the car and keep looking towards the cabin. We're cooked. Maybe I'm saved. Why did I say we're cooked? I could just leave. But I don't wanna. That's not interesting enough. At some point, BP is already behind you, looking out the window with you.
Wait for a second.
Okay. What's the game plan? Are we gonna kill them? Probably not. It's probably not smart to kill police. Then everyone is going to look for you. He walks out the door to talk to the police officers.
Is there anything I can help you with?
Are you Mr. Otis?
Yes, I am.
Do they know him? How do they know him? How'd they get his name? Why did they get his name? I mean, he's a murderer, that's why they got it, but, you know, like, how did they figure this out already? Have you ever seen these people around here? The police officer takes out some photos from his pocket.
Have these people committed a crime and are running away?
No. These people are missing people around this area.
I haven't seen them before, but wolves and bears often appear around here.
Can we check out your cabin?
Yes, come in.
He's very polite. I will say that about him. BP behaves very kindly and politely. That's what I just said. After speaking, he leads the way for the police officers.
Please, follow my footsteps. I placed some traps near the cabin to protect against wild wolves and bears. You don't want to step on them.
The police officers enter the house and see you. Hello, this is...
An old friend who came to visit me recently.
You greet the police officers with a smile and a nod. At the same time, a police officer quickly looks through the missing person's photos in his hand. Then he puts the photo back into his pocket. Am I not registered as missing yet? Or is he just playing it cool? Seems that your disappearance has not been discovered by anyone yet. Damn, no one loves me. It's been 5 days. How has no one noticed? You stand next to the bookcase, blocking the entrance to the secret room. W. After searching around, the police find nothing unusual and leave. Let's go. His trust in you increases. Today you still sleep on the couch in the living room instead of in the cold basement. Half asleep, you hear the sound of someone approaching. It's my time, he's killing me. When you notice it, the person seems to be very close to you. He's looking at the perfect place to prick my neck so I stay asleep and he can murder me peacefully. You pretend to be asleep, and the person just looks at your sleeping face quietly. The man stretches out his hand and takes it back just as he is about to touch your hair. He turns around and leaves. Alright, goodbye. I don't know what that sound is supposed to be. Day 6. I have 1 left, bro. I don't think I'm Doing alright. You see him busy in the kitchen for a while. Then breakfast is served in front of you. That looks pretty good. There's a piece of toast with just the right crispiness on the large round plate, and a poached egg on top of the toast, and some lettuce salad. The plating looks delicious. The drink is a cup of freshly brewed hot cocoa. The cutlery he gives you is still a round plastic fork with no offensive features. You sit at the dining table and start eating, while he sits on the chair opposite you and flips through a book. It's still snowing outside, and listening to the squeaking sound of the fireplace, the atmosphere in the cabin is particularly comfortable. As long as you ignore the fact that you are in the same room with the murderer who kidnapped you, everything is really relaxing. You look at him, who is full of mysteries, and some questions arise in your mind. And you decide to... Why would you ask loudly? Don't break the moment. Let's ask carefully. Can I ask you a question?
What is it?
He really pronounces his T's. About potted plants. That's an interesting one. Yes. I saw many potted plants on the shelves in the living room, but why were they all withered?
I have tried my best. I don't know why they always die.
He seems slightly sad about that. It is interesting because he works in plants in his pieces too, so he might actually really desire to have plants alive in his house. What work are you going to use me for? That question doesn't sound right, so I'm just gonna ask him what he's reading.
Usually, I would read some anatomy and taxidermy books, but today is different.
Why is today different? I wish to know. My thirst for knowledge is never ending. What are you reading today?
The Truman Show.
What is the book like?
The whole world that the protagonist lives in, including himself, is all just someone's creation. Everything that happens is watched by the audience, and there is no privacy at all. But he is completely unaware that he is in such a large theater.
Now I'm speechless, apparently.
Very ridiculous, right?
Maybe.
I can't imagine this to happen in reality, or to me.
Based on this game, it is happening. You're in the game, but you're not aware that I'm playing the game, that I'm seeing you.
If our world was like the Truman Show, how would the audience view the current situation?
With rapt attention. They might be intrigued. Must be unforgivable. Must be excited. I think they'd be thrilled.
Excited? Why?
You know, everyone likes murder mysteries and shows about killers and shit, so, I mean, why not excited? They may be attracted by your charm and want to be killed by you. So, that's not what I would have said, but okay. He is properly shocked by that statement.
Incomprehensible, but what a bunch of weirdos with good taste.
He has a bit of an ego. It's hard to tell from his poker face whether he's seriously boasting or joking. I don't think he's joking much. I really don't. I still don't like this question. I feel like that's going to upset him. But maybe I should click it later. Pick up the book next to you and start flipping through. It's a book about the possibility of having a completely opposite version of yourself in a parallel world. If there's a complete opposite version of you, what do you think it would be like?
Oh, that book. Let me think. Probably a guy wearing a burgundy coat and always having a smile on his face.
Does he have a frowny button? Why is it a burgundy coat?
Because I like blue. If he is the opposite of me, he should like red, right?
If he is the opposite of you, wouldn't he be a girl? I like how that was such a simple answer for him. Like, he doesn't really take his murder into consideration very often. It was just, oh, he would like this color. That's so interesting. Why does he like the color blue so much? Let's just click this and see if we die. You ask bravely. He looks up at you for a moment.
I was going to make you into some kind of doll at first.
At first? Well, what do you think now?
Your eyes are beautiful, but if they are left alone, they'll become rotten and sunken. So I would like to dig your eyes out and put them in a glass jar and soak them in formalin to preserve them. Glass beads will be placed in the empty eye sockets to replace the eyes. You look very pleasing to the eye, so I would also like to keep the head intact.
How thoughtful. Thanks.
You're welcome.
He looks so pleased. Okay, why did he say at first? Yeah. Has his mind changed? Probably. You're curious, but you don't have the guts to ask any further. Man, I would end the conversation. Maybe that at first means I'm saved. To thank you for making breakfast for me today, let me make lunch and return. He frowns at you with an expression like, are you out of your mind? Don't worry, you said there are traps outside the house. Only you know how to get in and out normally. Even if I resist you with a knife, I can't escape. Why does she smile when she says this? She's so happy.
Okay, but I'll keep an eye on you.
Okay.
Don't try anything stupid.
Oh, you got it. Great! As for what to cook and the ingredients, well, a bad idea flashes through your head, and curiosity makes you ask. Do you eat human flesh?
No, why would I do that?
Okay, he doesn't eat them. He just freezes them so that he can keep them for his art, I guess. No one was in my spaghetti, it's confirmed.
I just use human bodies as materials for making art, and I never think about eating them.
Got you, man. No problem with that. I thought you murderers all had some degree of cannibalism. What?
Let's put it this way. Do you eat paint and painting tools?
Damn. He kinda spitting right now.
Just because I kill people to use as materials to make works doesn't mean I will eat them.
Alright.
Also, I'm different from those who have fun committing a crime and kill purely for the sake of killing.
Yeah. He is a man of passion, I suppose. No problem, I guess.
Don't confuse me with that kind of unprincipled guy.
My fault.
I wouldn't do anything unless necessary.
Why did you kill me then? Or why did you want to kill me? What have I done? I mean, to be fair, this main character, the way I'm playing her, she's kinda strange. She might be freakier than this man.
You are here only because you witnessed the crime scene.
Ah, I see now. After hearing this, you decide to... well, just because you don't eat human meat doesn't mean I can't. Oh, my options. This would probably please him, but I want life to be interesting. What if I make the MC freakier? I'm gonna click it. I'm gonna die. Can I try cooking human flesh? I fucked up. He's not happy with me right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah. No. This is the time to brush it off. Be like, no. I was just kidding. Just kidding. JK on last.
Why do you do that?
What? What do you mean? Why do I do what? I'm quite curious about the taste of human flesh. Exactly. You can't blame me for being curious. I mean, you're curious about how you can twist people into origami, you know? I should be able to eat people without you being mad at me for it. Because I accept you fully. Haven't you ever been curious about it?
No, never thought of it.
I feel like that's a lie. I don't see how you could never think of that. This also helps you get rid of unnecessary material, doesn't it? Dang, we're manipulative.
I do have some useless cuts of meat in the basement freezer.
Let's go. Great.
By the way, I won't eat it.
Okay. Whatever you say, man. He says, but still takes you to the basement to open the freezer and takes out a piece of human thigh meat. You turn on the oven and start to cook. BP watches the entire production process. Rather than worrying about you escaping, he's more worried about you blowing up the kitchen. That's a fair thing to worry about. I am not very good at cooking. That looks delicious! I'd eat it. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's human. It looks good. I would eat this too, whatever this is. This piece of grass here, I would eat that as well. Not long after, a roasted human thigh steak appears on the table. He is assessing. He might just like the meat. He might just eat it. He stares at the human steak on the table and has no intention of eating. Alright. I won't force you because that's rude. What's wrong?
You go ahead and eat. I have no appetite.
Dang. How do you have no appetite when you see that picture, though? Like, that shit made me hungry. Fine. You cut the human steak into a size that fits your mouth. Put a piece into your mouth. Okay. I don't know what sound to make for this. The human flesh tastes firm, very chewy, and has a distinct beefy flavor. It tastes a bit like venison. It tastes like deer? That's interesting. I guess. That's not what I would have thought it would taste like. Firm and chewy. Did we de-thaw it? Do you say thaw or de-thaw? It's thaw. Because D is in front of frost. You defrost something. Although it's delicious, it's difficult to chew, so you chew it for a very long time. I think he might be disgusted. Or maybe he's curious. Maybe he's like disapproving, but he also has an inkling of, maybe it's good. BP frowns and sits aside, watching you eating with gusto. It's really delicious. Wouldn't you like some?
No.
Alright, I will go fuck myself. He continues to watch you eating with gusto. At this point, your fork accidentally falls to the ground. You bend down to pick up the fork that had fallen to the bottom of the table, then raise your head to continue eating. You look at your plate and notice that there seems to be a piece of meat missing. Aha! You are gonna eat it, you bitch,
Not
you
bad.
liar. That's right, I told you. Did you say something?
Nothing.
Okay. He licks his fingertips and says, "You had a fairly pleasant afternoon."
Hey.
What? You were woken up from your sleep by the man. His face is close to you, and his blue eyes are staring at you. What's wrong? You sit up on the couch and rub your eyes.
Got to go.
Got to go?
I've noticed something unusual about the number of police cars patrolling nearby recently.
Okay.
They must have some relevant evidence and are doubting it. It is very likely there is an ambush outside. It's snowing heavily outside now, and I think it's time to leave now. Come with me or not. It's your choice.
Sure. Oh, what the hell just happened? I'm just gonna do this. You choose to... Yeah! Fuck 12. What do you want me to do? I'm fine with both choices, but I need you to look me in the eyes and tell me, what do you prefer me to do? You stare at his eyes.
I prefer.
He hesitates to speak and looks away, looking like he's thinking about something. I don't like to touch people.
If I take you with me, you might become a burden in the process.
So you're gonna leave me?
But if I don't take you, it would be even worse if you reveal my information to the police.
I wouldn't do that. I literally didn't do that in front of you. Why would you think I would? He calmly analyzes the situation.
So you might as well come with me.
Okay. Alright. Day 7. We lived?
Follow
Maybe?
my footsteps.
Okay. Why is your mask on, bro? You follow the shoe prints he leaves on the snow and finally succeed in avoiding the many traps around the cabin. Just as you are walking through the forest, you hear movement behind you. Freeze! In the snowstorm, several policemen who were lying in ambush chase after you. You ignore them and keep running forward. Bang! A gunshot shoots across the sky, and you feel pain in your left calf. You are shot. How do I die to the person that's not a murderer? He turns to look at you, as if he's considering whether to leave you. Thanks. He approaches you. So he came back, and he holds you in his arms. Okay. Then you feel pain in your back. Bro, he kills me anyway. I became a burden by getting injured, and he's like, okay, I guess you'll die now. The hand he is holding around you from behind has a sharp blade. He pierces your body with that sharp blade over and over again until you lose consciousness. Everything becomes dark. Until just now, you realize that you chose to follow because... I want to follow him. He and I are the same kind. Yes. Yes, we are both mentally unwell, selfish creatures that are still slightly polite. I think this is it. That's the one. You wake up from a nightmare. Don't tell me it was all a dream! That would be the worst ending. You look around and find yourself in a cozy looking room with specimens hanging on the walls. What if I wake up and I'm the murderer? Dreaming of a random fucking person liking me. What if that's the ending? Never mind.
Are you alright?
I am shot in the leg, the man asks as he opens the door. Speaking of getting shot, can we press charges against him or kill him? 'Cause what the fuck? I'm alright. That's a lie. 2 years after that. Oh, never mind. If it's been 2 years, I doubt that I'm in pain anymore. That night 2 years ago, even after you were shot in the leg, the two of you continued to run forward in the snow. Fortunately, the wind and snow were strong enough to cover up your whereabouts, so you were not caught up. After that, you came to another remote mountainous area and rented another cabin to settle here.
I heard someone talk very frequently in her sleep.
I was just having a nightmare. He sits on the edge of the bed and strokes your cheek, his forehead touching yours gently.
Don't worry. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing more dangerous than me here.
Except me. He is right. If you were just an ordinary person, you should be worried about the murderer living under the same roof as you, rather than a nightmare. But you are not an ordinary person. You are as cold-blooded and emotionless as him. You two are equally evil, but This makes you both find a sense of belonging in the other. Living with others made him feel uncomfortable at first, but living with a crazy person like him doesn't make him feel uncomfortable. Because you can always quickly know what the other person is thinking. You also know clearly where the other person's boundary is. You live under the same roof, but you don't interfere with each other. He continues to commit crimes, and you sometimes participate on a whim. You have each other by the short hairs, and you know that if you expose each other's crimes to the public, then you will be finished too, so you more or less cover each other. You have a strange, symbiotic relationship where you sometimes dislike each other, sometimes deceive each other, but you also have absolute trust in each other. Two madmen keeping each other company. W ending? Let's go! We are murderers too! That was fire.